just feeling generous, or you just feel like you should be sub, but you're not already, get it done. Let's get the numbers back up. The Korean Royale definitely deserves it, I think. This is one of our flagship events. And it's a great couple of months, because next month, it's the freaking WardiTV 2025 Championship, by the way. The end-of-year championship. Tons of players taking part. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's going to be pretty darn sick. So, support if you can. Appreciate you guys as we have ourselves. In the bottom left corner from Vitality, it is going to be Ryung taking on the Red Zerg. In the top right, we've got Reynor, and Ryung's going to open this match kind of, honestly, how I'd expect him to. A couple cheeky little barracks over on the right-hand side to begin with. I think that is 100% somewhat expected here from Ryung, because let's face it, man's an underdog, especially against Reynor, especially in this matchup as well. I think it's a tough one to be an underdog in. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but being an underdog in TVZ is so tough. It's such a mechanically demanding matchup. It's so difficult to find cheeky little ways to take advantages in and so on. I wouldn't be surprised if Ryung played 2 racks into like mech even, kind of on a follow-up or so maybe. So yeah, interested to see what his plan kind of becomes here once we get up and running. Lumonom, thank you, or Lumonom 2. There's so many ways I can say her name. I'm going to stop before I just keep on repeating it repeatedly. Thank you so much for the Prime sub, fresh and new on the channel. Appreciate it. Thanks for priming us up. Thank you so much. Hey, already a little early, I know, but just curious, will there be Christmas Day games this year? Absolutely. Especially because we've just gotten a couple of sponsors come in recently. So, yes. Money has been a little bit of an issue this year for tournaments, but we're getting a couple of sponsors like I've just been talking about. They are helping us to kind of do away with some of our money woes. So we are able to run the Christmas Day games again this year. I'm not sure if it'll be $2,000. It might be $1,500 instead. But yes, the Christmas Day games will be back once again this year. And the Christmas Eve games as well. 2 of the sponsors, no one I need to mention right now. You guys will have the links and be mentioned as soon as I actually do the content for them. But TLDR, we're just playing a couple of games and doing videos on a couple of games. Bunkers are up, by the way. Guys, stop distracting me. We got bunkers up. Triple bunker comes online. Ryung decides not to fight this early. He's going to move the spines forward. Now, spines can get in reach of the bunkers without the bunkers reaching them with just marines inside. So that's what you're starting to see here. You see the marines trying to jump out the bunker to hit the spine crawler down. Queens have plenty of energy, so they can transfuse that spine. It's not exactly a fast process, because the marines are not exactly hitting every time. That spine should turn and hit that marine a little bit, gets a kill. Everything's going to count for a lot here. Reynor will not have ling speed as he just continues to poke. Is he going to try and save his hatchery? You would imagine that that's probably a goal. So he's going to go before this hatchery goes down, and now we're going to have the damage output. The queens go after the SCVs, stop the repairs. First marines going down here. Lings will get rid of those while we can. That's smart, because the sooner you get rid of the marines, the less damage output that's coming. And I think Reynor is making a pretty beautiful breakout of the triple bunker contain. And he is going to attempt to salvage that. That's never going to happen. Not in this day and age. Damage does cancel a salvage nowadays. That bunker was very close to going down anyway, so it was a very hopeful, maybe even a muscle memory kind of thing from Ryung. Obviously, we can see that that's not really going to go anywhere, and nothing wrong with that as well. The main issue is obviously that this has been held off. Now, Ryung is expanding. He's going into the factory. That hatchery is so low, by the way. Reynor really, again, he just waited as long as he could, just until the hatchery was about to go down. I wonder if it would have been better for Ryung. You know, those couple of times he jumped out the bunker and tried to hit the spine. I wonder if it would have just been better if he just kept hitting the hatchery. Because then maybe Reynor has to commit a moment or two sooner to save the hatch. I'm not saying he wouldn't save the hatch, but you might have killed more lings in the process, because there might not have been as many lings to begin with, so there's not as much damage output. I think Reynor still breaks out, as this Overlord goes on a wander and will die because of high ground vision being provided anyway. So, you know, I don't think it would have made the difference in that regard at the very least. But yeah, we'll see what happens here as the Marine pull back over to the bottom left. A Ling going to go nibbling at the SCV, so we will come across right there as well. And the command center landing onto the natural, morphing into an orbital. Couple of Hellions on the way through. The Ling speed is building up as well. And we do have ourselves a couple of dronies producing through 2 to get us established on this one. Alright, now we can get distracted and talk to chat again. God, these players, man, doing things and you're making us talk about the game. How dare they? Don't they know this is a WardiTV tournament? Kind of a fun breakout, though. Like I say, well established by Reynor in the end. As you do see the Hellion going to come across. He's going to get a little nibble, picks off a Zergling. 18 more Lings in production. We're adding on the Evo Chamber. We're adding on a Queen. We're well on our way to just the next stage of this game in general right now. But the Ling's actually going to catch a couple of these Hellions, which is really nice. The game state is honestly pretty equal, right? 37, 36 workers. It'd feel a bit better for Ryung if he still had those Hellions. Those 2 more Hellions here would really help to kind of deal with this higher Ling count right now. That's quite a lot of Lings. Oh, there we go. 4 Hellions. Just let's not get them surrounded. We're not going to try and pressure. He's already doing a good thing, which is he's buying himself time. Hellion's going to run to the corner where the Marines will support. He gets 1 Hellion, but I just don't think that's a good trade. I think it's time to back off. The Ling count's getting low. The Hellion splash is adding up. So I think it's time to move on and focus on other things here. And Reynor seems to be agreeing. Pulling back with those Lings. He's just been droning for now. He's not really had a reason to do anything but drone for a little bit. As Ryung gets that stim pack started. So we'll bring the stim online, getting the Cloak Banshees set up as well. So wants to get some harassment done with the Cloak Banshees in the near future as well, you would imagine. Again, the Marines and the Hellions continue to move back and forth a little bit. The Hellions still gathered together. Just see our Carapace upgrade. 20 more Zerglings. Baneling speed, all on the way through. Single Zergling runs in on that bottom side. The Baneling nest is going to finish up. Still got 1-1 upgrades. We've still got the stim. Coming through for the moment. Zerglings move out over to the left. Where are we going to go from here? Those few Hellions recollecting themselves back over the left-hand side, joining up for the moment. Double Banshee. I'm going to take the chance to move up. I'm going to see a couple of those drones already beginning to go down, so a little bit of damage already being done. Those couple of workers falling. Queen's going to get in position, and the Banshee's going to get chased away. Ling's once again trying to get to the front, but not going to succeed for the moment. So Ling's going to now get back in, and we get a few more SCVs, so making up for the Banshee damage. Hellions are going to threaten the idea of maybe moving in and maybe connecting into that mineral line, but there's a spine there, there's a Queen there, and I think the Hellions respect that realistically they shouldn't get much done, so let's just preserve themselves. Because they're still providing map control, they're still providing the chance to knock down potential creep tumors that are spreading outwards and so on and so forth as well. So continuing in that regard, as the 1-1 upgrades and combat shield will continue through. Siege tank, a couple of barracks and a couple of depots all continue to come around. Also, as that baneling speed comes through and the carapace will continue to build. The Overseer still producing, the Lings and the drones still building. And that armory is very much so on its way to coming up as well. The 5 additional barracks going to be a part of this. And those Marines loaded back up. The Lingbane pulls, move that right side, so good little bit of defense there. A few Hellions getting at the front too. The extra barracks still producing. Armory about to complete. Combat shield coming in, Marine tank all in production. The Hellions will take a step away from the Queens and just stay secure. I mean, we're about to have combat shield. The upgrade advantage is there from Ryung with an attack upgrade over his opponent currently. Just needs to get 2-2 started as well, you would imagine, as Ryung has added on. Barracks 5, 6, 7, oh sorry, 6, 7, and 8 typically already on 5. So he is going for the 8 racks. Unsurprising because it's Ryung. This is kind of how Ryung plays. You know, if I'd truly being a good caster, maybe at the start of the game, I would have told you this was his plan. To be fair, the Proxy 2 racks, I actually thought he might go Proxy 2 racks into mech. I guess my alternative plan for him would have been an 8 racks. Like, Ryung is a timing-based Terran versus Zerg player. I think he knows he doesn't have the speed and the commitment to kind of keep up in the super long game. He can't do all this multi-prong kind of dropping and lifting and microing like someone like Clem can against these top Zergs. But what he does very well with the timing windows and obviously, like I say, the mech play that can slow the game down naturally as well. So we'll see if it works here. There's a lot of creep from Reynor. That's going to slow Ryung's approach down. He scans the main base, so once an idea of if Hive is on the way, it gives him kind of a bit of a timeline to work on here. He recognizes that tank's in trouble, lifts it up, gets 2 tanks over that far right side there, round the corner, so it's going to be a little bit tougher for the Zerglings to get around there and to shut those down. And they're in a good position to support the push, so it's a great spot to be working from here on ley lines. This is going to be the target base for Ryung to knock down. You can see the Ling Bane bottom left of this army, ready for the massive wraparound, ready to make some plays here. Question is he going to go for it? That's a lag spike. Who is it? We don't know. Just going to continue through for the moment as the Ling Bane tries to connect in again.
Game paused.
Is it me? Love that. I love just sitting here and watching myself disconnect from the game. That makes sense. Alright guys, give us a moment. Oh, our ping just went up to 4K. I mean, this is not us, right? This is just the Korean server. Yeah, my internet's fine. It is dropping down. I think we're going to be good in a moment, so... Just the Korean server, we see it happen to everyone else, and it's going to happen here again. The one person they can't just kick. Yeah, you get the privilege, you know, when you pay for the tournament prize pool, you actually get to make everyone wait for you. So yeah, it's nice. Alright, I think it's just fixed already. It's just the ping itself is taking a couple seconds to come down still. But yeah, connection to Korea sucks all the time, guys. I mean, everyone on different days just randomly has issues with Korea. Like, if you're not in Korea, basically, so it's just a little bit rough. And yeah, Reynor's in Korea, guys. That's why he's in the Korean Royale. I wouldn't have invited him if he wasn't living in Korea right now. Alright, let's get this resumed. Let's get back on track. As we were seeing Reynor about to catch a bunch of units over here. Ryung's going to respond to that pretty well. I was just going to be seeing him actually dealing with that pretty nicely. I was going to say, those units in the bottom left were looking for the massive surround potential as well, but they do two things by being over there. They deny the reinforcements while also threatening the surround on the rest of the army as well. Marines get in after a couple of those banelings. Honestly, there's been a pretty good trade from these units here. Like, yeah, we lost the siege tank, but the rest of this has honestly been going pretty okay, I would say. And we're going to see some of the Ling Bane trying to come in from the top right side. That's not exactly going great. Reynor's army supply is the struggle. He needs to wrap around this army soon. This time he can't let, I think, reinforcements actually join in. Here we go. Ling Bane going to start running forward. The Bane's looking for those Marines. There's Banes that could maybe just go after the Hellbats too, and we will break through this. So Reynor is going to break out, but obviously he doesn't kill everything because the medevacs evacuate at least a few units. And now Ryung has a massive attack already moving toward the upper left-hand side as well. Ryung's going to get there. Marines will go down. Just going to see the medevac still chilling. We'll be seeing a couple of Danes connecting as you have Queens in position. Medevacs will get turned away. 3 upgrades coming through. Adding on the Liberator, adding on the Marine Marauder, adding on that Hive Tech, as well as Reynor, though. So Ryung's going to try and keep this going. He does have a 4th command center, so he committed to a future base behind this attack, which is maybe why he didn't just have straight up more and more still arriving. Just kind of pulling away to get the 4th base going instead. Now Reynor has survived, and he's going to be heading into that Hive Tech, so he should be able to kind of get things fixed here a little bit. The Ling Bane's still obviously producing through, getting gathered together. We do have our Ultraless Cavern in the upper right-hand side. A few drones, a few Vipers coming up as well. Marine, Medevac, Mine moves across to the right. You see that single Zergling burrowed up over here. Going to be taking a little bit of a chill for a couple moments. We drop a couple Mules down as well. Bane wants to take a chance to run in on this side, so trying to just have some of those mines initially, trying to deal with a little bit of this just as we get started. We see the command center going to lift. Burrows are Zergling right there. As soon as he gets the opportunity to, see the rest of the bio coming back out. Again, Spire coming through, the Ultra's Cavern coming in. So the Ultra Cavern finishing gives Reynor obviously a massive tech up in this game. I don't think Reynor really wants to fight right now. Like, he's well on his way to upgrades and things that are just going to help a lot. Adrenal, +3 Carapace. Ultras obviously should be kind of on the horizon here as well. The only issue is right now he's not maxed out and Ryung is, so Ryung pushing forward is going to give him a pretty good opportunity. A couple of Danes trying to crash through there onto the medevacs as well. Those medevacs just have to lift up and back it off. The rest of the bio now coming over the right-hand side. We killed a bunch of Lings over here too. I think Reynor's in some trouble, man. Ryung pushing through is looking pretty good. He's going to get this hatchery, and Reynor just does not have the numbers to hold on. He's going to start building some ultras now, and maybe the ultras can kind of still save the day a little bit. Maybe they can still get something done. Just going to be seeing the Lings running over here. Just try and burrow up and save some things wherever he can. But Ryung is in a good position, man. He is pushing through, and it's looking good for him. 4 more ultras in production, 4 more Lings on the way up. Ryung is... What if Ryung just goes like 3-0 on day 1, and we're just like, this group is already tipped upside down before we even really began, before some players are even back in Korea, like Zaun in Canada right now, can't participate today. Yeah, this group could go to some crazy places if Ryung starts doing some things. Now, this is going to be a bit better from Reynor. Oh, that last Baneling could have taken a connection there, but did back away instead. A few more Lings trying to run through. The tank will siege up. The rest of the bio keeping on fighting. Just going to see the bio just going to continue to hit the hatchery for a few more moments. That hatchery will go down. The few Zerglings will still come across. The drones are going to move over to the sides. Marine, Marauder, Medevac still producing, and we just see the rest of this Lingbane Ultra Army back into the center for now. I mean, you just lost a bunch of bases here as Reynor. This is definitely not a great scenario for you. Things are definitely looking a little bit troublesome, and the Ultras obviously have a very good chance of coming through and maybe kind of taking a good fight here. These Ultras have to carry. I mean, basically just tech versus no tech is your reliance right now as Reynor, as he will survive for the moment. He has got the base in the bottom right that I think Ryung has just not identified yet, but that's where that drop should be. Parasite Bombs will claim at least 1 medevac there. That's just too low HP to get away from. Again, Ghost Academy finishing very soon. Command Center about to finish. A couple more Winter Mines building in. Marine Marauder coming out. Line still building. Just for the moment. Lingbane Ultra continue to come through. A couple hatches coming about. Planetary Fortress. Orbitals. Marauders. Building right now. Just going to be seeing extra Banelings morphing in. The Ultra's gathering bottom right. Reynor's going to get close to maxing. Ryung is not re-maxing as quickly as I thought he might. As Reynor just re-establishes the bases, which he's been losing as well. So actually just going to have a chance to breathe here and just get, like I say, a bit more back on track to where we were at. And give Reynor a chance to kind of properly be positioned well in this game. Bio gets in. We play a little bit of cleanup. A couple of mines will burrow. That Starport, Medevacs, and the Marauders still coming through. Steel framing coming up as well to just and high stack auto tracking, just all the things that are just additions at this stage. Obviously with 3-3 done, those engineering bays are free, so may as well make some use of them. Upgrades will help, if not the most meaningful of upgrades every moment of the game. It still will be an aiding hand. Fire pulls to the side, that one single little infestor just taking a chance to check forward and see what's up. Bio. It's going to be... It wants to run away here, and he's going to pop the infestor and drop the fungal down, and that's going to enable the fight. Parasite Bombs will go on the Medevacs. The Banes did get some connections already, and that is going to be huge. Pops another Parasite Bomb. That full Medevac's going to die then because it's got refreshed. That's brutal. 2 of the Medevacs go down. What a cleanup from Reynor. What a fight in the bottom right. Just as he kind of needed it as well. Like, this was absolutely terrifying for him. It's going to be seeing the Banes coming about. The bio is going to be right there as we have... Yeah, what a great trap. Just the Infestor on one side. The army that's scary enough to force Ryung to try and run on the other. And just boom, just like that. Reynor makes the play. This game was looking so weak for Reynor. He was looking to be in so much trouble, and all of a sudden... Not really all of a sudden. It took a little bit of defending. It took a little bit of turning around. But now he is absolutely commanding this game. As Reynor moves up to 200 supply and Ryung sits at 160. Again, it's a game where Ryung definitely put himself in a great place. He definitely gave himself a great chance, but yeah. I'll gather around. A couple of creep teamers will go down again. We're just going to get the command center brought back over to position. We do have 10 Banelings producing, plus 1 flyer attack on the way. And again, a little bit more coming up. Marauder, Liberator, Widowmine building through. The vehicle plating coming over. Again, the Lingbane Ultra just setting to make a bit of a move here. Gonna get those Liberators set, and we are gonna move straight up. A couple of Parasite Bombs gonna go down. The Liberators gonna be hit by those bombs, so that's obviously gonna add up. A couple of Ghosts just getting hit as well, so they can't even get some snipes off, so these Ultras are just having a field day. It's very Marauder heavy, so eventually these Ultras have to turn around. They run out of support, and the Liberator still being alive obviously allows them to get some shots as well at the end. 3 Ultras super low getting out of there. If they can find some transfusions, that would be amazing. We're going to lose another 8 SCVs, so a bit more economy being lost out on for the moment. Marine Marauder Mine still building up. Plus one vehicle plating, halfway done. Bio Liberators still pushing through. The couple of drones escaping out to the side. The Ultra's going to pull away over there as well. And some energy back on these Vipers. We will lose this base, and there's a little bit of harass in the bottom right. One of mine's overhead. Just see the drones moving about. It's going to be seeing a couple more Marauders going to get back in towards those drones as well. Just going to shoot. Medevac's going to take damage. Medevac's going to go down, surely. We'll see. The Liberator is going to be a big target for those Corruptors throughout this game, so that's definitely going to be something we keep watching for. It's me again.
Game paused.
It is me again. Oh. Well, take a moment to you guys. Because it should just go down again. I think it's already going down again now. I just went from 3.7 to 3.4. Ready, go. Alright, let's get back to it as we resume. Just going to be seeing a couple of Banes going about. Corruptors on the way through as well. Just going to take a chance to settle here as... I mean, Reynor maxed and ready to go take some fights as Ryung settles in the center. Triple hatch coming up from Reynor. He's had issues keeping bases alive. Ryung has had some good stabs, but when you build at 3 at once, that's obviously pretty darn neat, right? And gets you back on track very, very quickly. Am I still lagging? 6? No, it's still coming down. Just looks a bit jumpy, but it is coming down. It's heading the right way, so... Well, scan coming about. Army on the bottom side from Reynor. Positioning. Reynor's not going to feel super confident about attacking, right? Because he's in this kind of weird position where he doesn't quite have enough economy behind it all to just kind of throw units at the Terran and just rebuild and go again. Especially because the Terran's been pretty rich and has been pretty base heavy throughout. And that Corrupt coming through. The +2 fly attack upgrade coming by as well. So just continue to get that into place. CC going to come down as well, as we just have Infestor burrowing up for the moment. Lingbane Ultra all the way up to the top side. Just going to see a little bit of that Lingbane splitting around over to one direction. And yeah, +2 flyer attack upgrade still coming through as well. A few of the Libs coming by, the Ghost coming up. Gonna see one single Zergling setting off that Widow Mine right there as the Lings come through. Gonna get a cleanup as well. And it is just the... I'm gonna just reset my game after this. Sometimes just rejoin the Korean server kind of helps out. Some days it doesn't like you, and some days it's just like, I'm just gonna be a pain in the butt for a little bit. Definitely being a bit of a pain in the butt, so we'll do what we can to try and fix it. As Ryung takes a dive into the bottom right, so this hatchery is gonna be in a little bit of trouble, and can Reynor get here to play defense? He's definitely on his way over. Looks like the hatchery will go down, and the medevacs will lift up and get out of there pretty quickly. Again, this is a game where Reynor's obviously been kind of held back and kind of, you know, forced to play a little bit of a slower game, like I say. So he's off from his kind of usual kind of trends, and that's why it does feel as though Ryung is able to still keep control of the map a little. Gonna run some Lings in over here. Liberator sieging up, and we'll just try and get some SCVs. A couple of mines will go off as well, but these Lings are very much so, you know, things we can throw away. We're gonna add on even more Corruptors, so once they get that Corruptor count a bit higher. There's a good amount of Libs. I felt like we had enough Corruptors already, to be honest, but clearly Reynor feels like he needs a few more right now. He's just going to finish off the Sense Tower, which is nice. These Fuelings over here actually once again going to try and make a play up this ramp and into this base, so actually could run into the main mineral line if they wanted to. Things are just a little slower kind of picking off those depots. Someone just mentioned, yeah, they don't have +3 attack, which is very true. That melee upgrade being forgotten about a little bit, so... some depots will end up burning down. Reynor just again trying to cause some distractions, make it difficult for Ryung to keep up with everything that's going on in the game at this current point in time. So you're going to see Bane Ultra coming around from a couple directions. The Liberator setting up, the Widow Mine's going off, and in we go. Oh my goodness, the fungal from behind! The Infester, I saw it lurking there earlier and I kind of forgot about it. Obviously Ryung was clueless. He scanned on top of his army just recently as well, so he probably just didn't think it was there. And that is going to be a massive fight for Reynor. That is a huge swing of supply. As, yeah, this takes... I mean, that basically just takes all the wind out of Ryung's sails. If he even had any left. I think felt like it was kind of stopping, you know, kind of going well for Ryung for a while. But another fight like that is just going to be huge. And that's just going to be... Yeah, I mean, you just need to have... Kind of, if you're just sitting on your base, you just need detection covering these areas, right? You can't let Infestors just find fungals like that. Does he have Cracklings? Yeah, he built Adrenal Glands a long time ago. He just doesn't have the +3 melee upgrade, so he's most of the way there with the Lings, just forgetting the melee upgrade. And so we're going to see him running back into this position. This time, the reinforcements might allow him to just clean this base up and be surprised if Ryung saves it. It's a big mule farm up here. We don't really need to blow up too much of that. Corruptor's just getting rid of a bunch of the Liberators. Once again, it's Ryung's supply that will hurt on the tail end of this. Bane Ultra Corruptor continues to run out for the moment. He's just escaping out of there. A lot more Lings on the way. 80 additional Zerglings coming by for the moment. Just bringing all of those through. See the CC. I'm going to try and get back to the top left-hand corner. A couple of missile turrets and the Sense Tower going to be placed. Mine's going to go bang bang and those Corruptors get destroyed, so not ideal. We are rebuilding Libs as well, so you kind of want to keep the Corruptors alive because they are going to be your answer to those Liberators. A couple of Widow Mines that we want to try and set up early here as the bio comes back to that top left side. This is a 25-minute game now on ley lines, guys. This one has been pretty hefty to say the least. As the extra Libs coming through, the +3 vehicle plating coming online as well. The rest of this army from Reynor still stepping through the middle of the map. Ling Bane Ultra moving straight through over there for the moment. He's going to run in. Just a few of those Marines getting picked off. We are going to see the rest of the bio coming back over. Ling's going to get chased away once more. And 4 Liberators coming over time. Reynor is going to have to go back into those Corruptors to deal with that. Going to get through a little bit of a surround. The few Lings actually slip by into the main. And again, just annoying, right? You just have to run after that, and it's going to distract you from over here, for example, where there's this big army looking to come through. Reynor's a little afraid of it, though, and I don't blame him. It's been a rough game. Like, he's definitely had some downward swings in this game, and getting back on track and figuring out that he has enough to just keep sending it here. He's going to see it now, right? But he just wasn't sure about it before. And you see the Ultras. They will get rid of this base. The Banelings don't really even have a good target. What's funny is we actually do run out of Corruptors, so the Liberators will survive, and that's why I said a few more Liberators are definitely, a few more Corruptors definitely need to be built when we lost a few from those Widow Mines. That's definitely one of those things that you just have to stay on top of right now. You're going to keep on needing those Corruptors throughout this. Festa sits in between all the bases right now. It's just going to settle down over there. A couple of Widow Mines coming through. The SCV's coming up. +3 flyer attack will build from Reynor. It's just going to get that underway as now a lot of the Lings coming down to the bottom. Mines. Bang, bang. And a couple of Lings go down already. Rest of the bio coming through. Just clean up a mine. We're just going to run out of that. Again, it's more of a distraction than anything else. It's buying you time for everything else to come back online. Corruptors and Ultras to make another bid at this base, which, I mean, at this point, there's enough Corruptors just to fight this, which is going to make a big difference. That's a lot more Liberators would show up, though. Maybe it's not enough Corruptors. Maybe we do need to take a moment still. My goodness. Reynor max still, and his bank account, to be fair, is drained of gas. He could do with throwing a couple of extractors down on some of these bases just to make sure he has enough gas, because he has a lot of minerals banked, but the gas bank is at absolute zero, so yeah, he needs to stay on top of that a little bit. It does limit what you can build as well, right? Because you're very Ling heavy specifically because you don't have as much gas, but it's not that he doesn't have gas to mine from. He's just not put the extractors down is all. couple more shots. Ling's getting taken out, getting pushed back to the center. It's fun to remember how this game started. Yeah, cheeky little 2-racks opening. Honestly, every aspect of this game was pretty crazy. There's been a lot of fun moments thus far on this one. I'm running up. As this Ultra Corruptor Force makes its way through, going to start fighting over here. We are going to see the Ultra's going to keep on moving in. Corruptor's actually going to be able to get in after those Liberators as well. Actually didn't go after them straight away. Maybe let a few more shots come out. In the end, we will just play cleanup though. I mean, the damage will be done here. And these Bio Force is just not looking good enough to really stop these Ultras, which maybe a little bit low on HP here could do with kind of stepping away. What's resources lost like 62.5 to 49k. But Reynor has obviously been mining so many bases, right? Mining over here. Just lost this base up here, but he's had bases to mine from, so he's got the economy to really do this. The big issue as well is that Ryung is probably just a base away. I think Ryung is like this base away maybe from realistically being kind of able to see this game mined out. So that's why Reynor wants to kind of keep the pressure up. That's why he wants to keep the trades going and denying the bases that are currently being mined, because it's going to slow Ryung from finding himself on that other base, which is what he maybe needs to, like I say, potentially see the end of the game. The Ultra Corruptor gathering on the top. We're just going to see a bunch more Liberators getting sieged once again over on this side. Bane Ultra Corruptor gathering together. Just going to see a few more Banes coming back over that left side hatchery. Wants to go down over here too. Just re-establish that bases. So look, we're back over in this direction. Again, just got to get those Corruptors in after those Liberators and try and knock those down. They're doing a lot of the damage initially in these fights. Vikings is kind of fun as well, just trying to knock the Corruptors down in return. Honestly, one of the better fights that Ryung has had. He actually kills off a lot of the Zerg here, but he also loses 19 SCVs. He's down to 17 workers in the game. Obviously, Terra and Mules can kind of keep you going a bit, but it does feel like we're getting close to Reynor overwhelming. I think the issue still is just Reynor's gas count. Like, Reynor is at a gas scenario where he doesn't really have enough gas to rebuild kind of fully tech units, so he's very Ling heavy. But man, like, Ryung is low HP Marauders kind of running into the front right now. These Lings are just going to take this fight. The few Corruptors that are here are just going to go for this. The Infestor is going to show up from behind, and the Fungal once again is going to be huge. It helps a lot against for these Lings just trying to work their way through this. You know, these Corruptors might want to just get rid of the Medivacs, man, so that these units on the ground don't stick around forever. Some Marines showing up. Extended fight as Ryung is refusing to back away from this one. Reynor still getting what he can done with the Corruptors. He needs new Lings. He's got a couple Ultras on the way. Those Lings start to run in, but maybe need to wait for everything to show up together at this point. Just going to see the Ling Ultra going to run straight through here as it gets in. We've got a couple more Ultras in production. You could, you know, ideally you want to kind of keep this base alive. It is mining, and any mining right now is very useful. I think this is the issue. We truly do not have an answer to... I was going to say these Ultras, but you know what? There's only a couple of Ultras here. That one is going to get transfused up multiple times over. The Hero Ultras to get it done in the end. GG's. Reynor wins 31 minutes on ley lines. And that I'm okay with going for some long games as we get into our second map. In the bottom right, our Blue Zerg, who I'm sure would prefer to have had a bit of an easier time in this opening game than what he had. Got the win in the end. Just took a little bit of effort. It is going to be Reynor. Down in the bottom right corner represents Basilisk, of course. As in the top left, the red Terran from Vitality will be Ryung. Hey, Wardy just found you 2 months ago. Love the stream. Your Scarlet super fan was that she only had one game in the Crank Cup. Is there a place to watch her play regularly? Right now, she's playing in the Stellarfest tournament. So if you search out Stellarfest and their VODs, you'll find some Scarlet games there, but the reality is Scarlet just isn't really playing super regularly in anything, to be honest. Like, she's not really playing on a consistent basis. Yeah, like I say, pretty much just anywhere, so... Yeah, she's not really been... honestly, she's been looking really good lately in terms of the games she's played, because I didn't even think she was still playing competitively at all. So... yeah, unfortunately, I can't really help you apart from the fact that she has literally this weekend is Stellarfest. It's still ongoing. So if you search Stellarfest, you can find a Wikipedia or something. It'll probably link you towards the streams and so on, and you can go from there. But the answer other than that is she just doesn't really play in very much, unfortunately. Scarlet practically retired. I'd say yeah, she kind of stepped away from StarCraft, but she's clearly still playing a little bit right now. So. Reaper Orbital coming through, commencing onto the natural. We get set up and just see where we're going to go to. SCV going to wander about for a couple of moments as we go back and forth. And yeah, we just take a few moments to settle ourselves on 10,000 feet. One of the maps from the TLMC. Very fun map, looks very cool. Yeah, enjoying having this one in the tournament, to be honest. It's been very fun to see as a couple of queens and drones continue to make their way about for a little while and set up for the moment. Alright, reactor coming through. Factory will finish. Couple CCs will be building. Yeah, Queen's drones and the Overlord coming up. Extractor on the way over. Grenade goes down to let the Reaper get into this mineral line, but I'm not sure how much more it can do. There's a second Queen nearby. It's going to jump down. Does get the drone in the end, but it costs it its life, so it's going to be a dead Reaper. You get a drone. The good news for Reynor is he did this without Lings, right? So he played a no-Ling Reaper defense. So getting the Reaper killed in that scenario is amazing, because now you just get away. Like, yes, okay, you lost a drone, but he didn't lose the 3 drones that he would have lost by making Lings instead. So a little greedy from Reynor, and 100% pays off for him. Basically a 2-drone kind of benefit, maybe 1 drone benefit, because sometimes you only make 4 Lings instead of 6. But yeah, definitely worthwhile in this one. That's just a fast roach roar on Evo chamber down. You'll see no Ling speed. This is just a straight kind of roach play. Kind of gasless for a little while to kind of boost the economy and the setup at first, and now moving into the roach roar and just going from there with that evolution chamber coming up as well. Banshee and Hellion producing from Ryung is really no surprise, very standard for the moment. Having our Banshee Hellion coming about, just going to move over for a little bit. We go stepping through for now. I play Rotors as well. I wonder if Ryung does play mech game 2. I mean, he was in a good position game 1. He's going to play Stim. Because he's in good position game 1, so he might be afraid to kind of play Bio again, because are you going to get into that good of a scenario once more? And if not, then it's going to be even more difficult for you to really do anything there, right? It's kind of going to be the issue, so... Hey, Limbold, if you want the bracket on YouTube, just, it's in the pinned message at the top of the chat. It's there constantly, so we don't have a command for it. You can just click the top of the chat at any point and find it there. I just don't have a bot really set up for YouTube still, but honestly finding that we don't really need it, to be honest, so... There is a stream elements bot, I just haven't bothered to update all the things, like, to be honest. The thing with stuff like bracket commands is, like, I've got to update it every day, right, so... I guess if I go into the habit of it, it wouldn't be so bad. Anyway, we got a couple barracks, couple engineering bays coming through, Banshee Marine Stim all coming up. It's going to be having the few Hellions back into the center. And yeah, Carapace and the Overseer continue to build. Hive on the way super quickly from Reynor. So he's just instantly hiving here. That's a very fast hive. Now Ling speed on the way as well. I'm genuinely curious what we go into off the hive. Landing nest. I wonder if he's just going to go like Ultra Rush with some Infestor support. Probably makes sense. More than anything else. Obviously, I wouldn't have suggested that, but obviously seeing the melee, the Ling speed now and the Baneling nest, it definitely seems like that's the direction we're heading to. Obviously off the Roaches it's a bit funky, but maybe, I mean, off the fast hive you can obviously still get as well Vipers, so it's another benefit as 10 drones go down to those few Hellions there, so that's going to be a big KO. It's going to be a great catch as now these Hellions move in over here and going to get a few more kills as well. So they're going to get straight through. 14 workers going down so far. These few Hellions are going to make it 16 workers. That's a disaster for Reynor. The saving grace may just be that he's been very greedy up until this point. And so, yes, you take a bunch of damage, but maybe your greed lets you get away with it. It's never going to be good to lose 16 drones, but better to lose 16 drones in a greedy game than 16 drones when you're trying to be safe and secure and very, standardized. So maybe if this game looks okay for him, that would be the reason why. And the speed is continuing up. Couple drones coming about. The Banshee's going to go and make a dive back into the main, just adding to that worker kill count. The speed of those Banshees allowing them to get in, get some kills, and just get out safely. Keeping themselves alive is the main priority thus far. And now Medivacs and the Marines are going to gather down to the bottom side. Moving across the left at the moment, in fact, but going to be aiming to that bottom left corner soon as the couple of Roxy could be taken out. It's going to knock those down and get ourselves a chance to hit this bottom left base. So, in we go. Reynor has some units nearby, so this should not be a major issue. He sees it, he jumps on it. Getting the speed done soon, and he's got adrenal glands on the way up, still continue with the melee upgrades. Just Vipers immediately off the hive, but you got to imagine if he's playing melee upgrades, that Ultras are going to be one of the next steps you head into. I would have maybe thought as well, maybe just an Infestor or two. Like I said, just a couple of Infestors. I mean, I wonder if his kind of plan got changed a little bit from the damage he just took from those Hellions. I wonder if that kind of pushes him into a bit more of a certain kind of playstyle or so here, and kind of, like I say, directing things in a bit of a different manner. Attack and armor upgrades continue through. The Lingbane Roach will join up for a moment or two. The Viper still building. We have ourselves the Banshees getting turned around on the right side. Spore Crawler in position, going to turn those Banshees away immediately. And yeah, Planetary Fortress coming up, SCVs and Siege Tanks coming about. Ryung is very tank heavy. That's where the Vipers are going to be huge, of course. Get some good Blinding Clouds off. You can nullify a lot of what Ryung has been built into here. Two on those melee upgrades. The Zerglin's building as well. Again, tanks, Marines, Marauders. All the upgrades coming about right now. Just getting so much up and ready to rumble. And Reynor just sat back home, taking a 5th hatchery. Building Lingbane, getting 2 upgrades. Not really still. I feel like doing as much off the hive as I thought he was going to. I wonder when is going to be the trigger point to kind of add extra things. He's going to add a Spire now. Maybe he just plays pure Lingbane, no Ultras, and then kind of goes from there maybe. Figure out what you can do at that point. Ling Roach Brain Ravager making a little bit of a route. A couple Banelings are coming over. Marines are going to get jumped on. Bio gathering in the upper right hand side as well. So got those 2 upgrades coming about. The +1 vehicle weapon is going to be a part of this too. Getting those siege tanks added onto as well. For the moment, CC floating across. A couple of siege tanks coming over to the right side. A couple of them are already going to begin sieging. Spire will complete. Hatches building as well. And guess we'll see. Bit of bio moving about. Medivacs and the Vikings continue over. As Medivacs load up, going to get over to the right. On the left-hand side, we've got ourselves a couple of Banshees going to go ping-ponging their way through some of the creep spread as well. So Ling's going to take the chance that there's a couple of Medivacs as well. They're just going to lift off, back away. Crucible coming down. Great Spire and Spire on the way through. Still got the 3-3 upgrades and the Burrow upgrade coming through as well. So just a lot of that on the way over. A couple of Ghosts will build +2/+1 on the way. Cloaking coming up as well. And just having ourselves the 5 base setup. Across the upper left right now, looking good. Our army just gathers up and we just have just another late game kind of developing here. Guys, I'm just going to say this now. If this goes even slightly long, like if this gets to 20 minutes, there's going to be unskippable ads on Twitch. Because we had a super long previous game, I had to use all my snoozers already. So I've got no way to delay the ads. So if this gets to 20 minutes, then I'm sorry that you get ads mid-game. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It looks like it's going to go long, but maybe it's just a case of we have one big fight from Reynor and he just sends it and then it dismantles very quickly, which could happen in 3 minutes time instead. So there's that possibility. Parasitic Bomb's just going to get Medivacs low. Actually going to try and hunt for the secondary bomb, which is going to be a full Medivac dying. So that's actually pretty neat. Nice job from the Vipers, realizing there's no threat to them there, so they just chase. And with the Lings underneath, it stops the units from coming underneath instead. So the Vipers gather some more energy. Some Lings are going to run through. The siege tanks are going to get jumped on. And the Ghost still gathering together. Lib tank coming through. 3 more factories for this late game. Did I run ads now? I could, but if this was like 100% going to go for like 10 more minutes, I would. But like, I still think like if I run ads now, it could actually still end in 2 minutes too. Like, I feel it's that kind of game, so I'm gonna run the risk and just not run them. I think let them run naturally if they have to run, I suppose. This thing's gonna come running through. A couple siege tanks gonna get jumped on immediately. It's gonna be seeing the Infernal Pre-Igniter coming up, +2 vehicle weapons coming by, Liberators in production. I'm just adding on some investors. He's figuring out what he wants to rebuild with his money. He's got a massive bank, so the fact he's only at 165 supply right now is clearly just a case of him thinking, more so than a case of this being an actual problem. Again, +2 melee upgrade, +1 flyer attack, +1 carapace coming over. 3 will be building on the side of Ryung. Still a couple more piles, just hitting the refinery for now. Tanks and Libs all building up. Get that Sense Tower coming through as well. Couple of Marauders going to go in after those Creep Tumors. Pushing through for a moment or so. 9 more Corruptors building up as well. The Liberators going to try and position. Obviously, this map has some of those forward bases that are easily kind of accessed from the center. This Ling's going to get caught. And Reynor just adding on the Corruptors as he preps for another later stage kind of fight in this TVZ. So just readying up for that scenario to kind of come through. Those Libs coming about. We get the Corruptors moving back together for the moment. Surprised that with how big Reynor's bank is, there aren't more upgrades in the production tab. What would he be upgrading though? Like, he could prep Chitinous Plane if he wanted to go ultras maybe. He already has flyer upgrades on the way. He doesn't need missile upgrades. Hero Parasite, there you go. I mean, yeah, I mean that sort of stuff obviously makes a bit more sense. Just things off the Infestants, so stuff he already has access to. I love all these Medivacs flying around with low HP. Just Medivacs that have clearly eaten a Parasitic Bomb at one point earlier in this game. Roach is running up there as well. Probably just looking to give themselves up pretty soon. As a few Marines continue to get active and trying to be a little busy here. We have ourselves this Queen going down, so that will fall. And now this push onto this location, maybe a little bit troublesome. A couple of Banelings coming through. And that little bit of army getting a little scared. There's a lot of run-bys coming up to the top side. Going to catch a building tank already. I'm going to get rid of one of the orbitals that's nearby. I mean, honestly, not bad just for a few Lings that are still going big. The tanks are the reproduction right now, and they are getting killed quickly. So this turned into a disaster over here. Meanwhile, Ryung has not really got anything else going on. He is pulling back with Ghosts to come and deal with this, but Reynor abusing what was being made and just abusing the fact that Ryung was very out of position, so gets in for a good run by. Obviously, again, this looks like it's going to be a longer game, so this is not going to be, the be-all and end-all right now, but this is huge, man. He just denied the +2 vehicle plating as well by killing an armory. This Ling run by has been incredible. Way more successful than you probably expected it to be. Ryung losing that vehicle upgrade is, it's a bit rough. He's still going to have the attack upgrade at least. Going to see some Lings running in over here, just finding some tanks left on their own as well, and right now, Lings are putting in work. Spire coming through. I do wonder in this game, are we actually going to try and make the Broodlord switch? You can see Ryung is prepping for it. Thor's already on the way out. They know they can be the answer to this scenario, so we're going to see the Thors already coming up. A couple of Hellbats stepping over. They're going to get rid of a couple of Lings as well. Just going to clean up there as we continue to build up. Guys, I'm actually going to run the ads now. Screw it. I'm going to send it. this game's not going to end in the next minute, so so I'm just going to send it now after that run by when people are rebuilding. I think that's the best time to throw them in. Screw it. YOLO, believe! Oh my god, now there's Brood Lords. But the Broods are going to put some pressure on. I've screwed up, haven't I? The game's going to end now because I did that. Alright, well, enough worrying, more actioning. As we are going to be seeing the Brood's going to take position. The Ghost's going to try and step forward, looking for some snipes. Fungal's coming down. You can see those Brood Lords pressing through, and Siege Tank's obviously not helping you right now because they're actually just hurting a lot of the Ghosts. They're friendly firing with the Broodlings. And that's going to allow you to push straight up in here. The Lings are going to come straight in. The tanks are going to get jumped on. That's going to be a little bit of a cleanup from Reynor over on the left side. We do lose a hatchery on the right as well, though. So Ryung is going to succeed over there as the rest of the Ling Bane moves back across. We're going to leave the Corruptors on the left side. They're going to look at the Planetary Fortress, but they're afraid of the Ghosts. They have to step away respectfully as, oh, this Infestor walks into the scan. Oh, he probably didn't notice that. Oh, he was actually scanning ahead. He accidentally got the Infestor on the edge of the range, so he does deny that Infestor. That's obviously pretty huge considering where this game is at and where we're going to. So a lot of Ling Viper on that right-hand side, a little bit of bio unloading on the top. Ling Bane back to the left, Corruptors gathering together. I'm just going to be seeing this army joining and readying. Storm, Edivacs, +1 ship weapons all coming through. Got a couple missile turrets coming up as well. As the Broods are going to drop down and just going to go in after a couple of those siege tanks initially. The Brood Lord's trying to get a little bit more done as you see the Ghost trying to get some snipes off. Brood Lord's still going, and the Infestor there trying to get through for the Fungal. That was a little bit brave, just wandering straight in unburrowed. Ghost's going to try and come back and get over to this side once more. As you see a couple more shots coming in. Got the Fusion Core, the Starport, and the Liberator still building up. +1 ship weapons coming over as well. Now the Zerglings will go back around to the right side. Reynor staying max. Honestly feels like Reynor's in good control of this game. Like, he's playing the game he wanted to play, which was he didn't initially move out and make anything happen. He didn't try and get out to kind of, you know, set anything up super early. He just took bases, he established a bank, and he just kind of went from there. I see the Broodlord's trying to get a couple of the Ghosts initially. We're actually going to dive in with a lot of the Banes. Actually pulls back. The Banelings decides not to go too far. Corruptors come forward, and they get some damage done. The Broods are left to do their thing for a few moments as well. The Liberator still pressing in. Nice little snipe. Gets rid of a Viper. The Broodlords turn back around. Gonna drop a Parasitic Bomb down. The Ling Bane still coming across as well, so still moving through. Parasitic Bomb is going to fade away, and a little skirmish there. 70 Lings instantly being produced on the other side. So bringing all those Lings up. There's a couple of Ghosts and the Advanced Ballistics for that Lib range coming online as well. I'll launch the nuke up into the sky, so we're going to start nuking. That's a fun position because it's not easily seen, so it's the sort of thing you might just miss. I don't know if it clips the edge of the mineral line. Reynor does see it, so good job from him. This should not do much then. But it's just that sort of thing where it's going to start grabbing the attention of the Zerg, and that's going to be a factor. Caustic Spray will kick in here. Ghost coming over to save the day. SCV repair has not been enough. Ghost snipes, not in time. He'll get a couple Corruptors, but it does lose you the base. A replacement orbital is on the way. An orbital right on the edge here when a lot of the attention is in the center may not be great, because then you're going to be having this scenario where you're going to be, you know, playing with the orbital. And Ling run-bys can do a lot. Resources lost favorable to Reynor, by the way, so he's traded efficiently thus far. The SCV's going down. The Ling's actually going to run by a few up into the main base as well. As, again, it's just distractions, right? It's just being annoying. We burrow, we unburrow. Just trying to be annoying, forcing out scans, forcing attention of Ryung. Actually going to catch a couple of units as well as like a nice bonus, honestly. Like I just don't really feel like you had to get this for this to be a success. That tank just went down. The last Ling getting the final nibble off went out there. Kill the Sense Tower here too. 13 SCVs across the board. And Ryung rebuilds from it easily, but again, it's very cheap for Reynor to do this. You're trading minerals for much more valuable units, so it goes a very good direction for you here. As you do see Thor, Ghost, Marine pressing across. A few of those Lings going to get jumped on initially. A few of those go down right from the get-go. So a little bit of damage done there as the Corruptors now move down to the bottom. A few more Lings moving about, so they're just going to relocate for a little while. We'll just have the Ling Bane Hydra Corruptor still joining together too. Reynor going to the right-hand side. A few Lings going to try and slip by. Looking to get to the top, but this time Ryung's army is nearby. It's a 6-base Terran. I mean, it's a good economy for the Terran player at this point. Reynor, obviously, across the bottom of the map. His 4 bases initially are pretty much mined out. He has got these 2 and this 3rd on the right side. Oh my goodness, we're going to roll into this one. He's going to send the Banes in. This is very, very Thor kind of neck heavy. Needs these Banelings to get towards the Ghosts and knock those down. Obviously, nowadays, Ghosts die a little bit more easily to Banelings. That was a fight from Reynor for sure. He's going to knock a lot of supply down from Ryung. Ryung has money to rebuild, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Adding in Hydras, we're adding in Lings. Reynor instantly rebuilds and uses all of his lava to reproduce here, so that's pretty much just enough, and he will have to morph Banes in again. Again, he's super rich right now. Resources lost 29 to 33k. That won't account for some of the Banelings that got used, so even still, though, typically you're expecting to see this being like, you know, thousands in favor of the Terran player. The fact it's even slightly in favor of the Zerg is a very good sign that Reynor is playing a very solid game right now. The Ling follow-up here is going to be huge, just jumping on units that aren't really prepared for it. These SCVs in the middle of nowhere too. Corruptor's getting in after the Liberators. Ling's alone right now. It's going to be freaking scary. And then the Banelings show up on top of it. I don't even know what the Banes want to roll into right now. I guess the mineral line, kaboom, 28 SCVs dead in recent history. And Ryung, I think, is going to be dead in very current history. As you just see, the Corruptors looking overhead to do a bit more, but GG gets called, and Reynor will confirm the 2-0 here in the opening match.